so too.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. And twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, 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 oh,
Well. We are indeed back again. Who'd have thought it, right? Would you, Adam and Eve it? We are indeed, well, we should be, live, right? Now, if I've got it correct, we are live for the first time in the history of all the worlds, all the universes, all the string theories, right? Everything, all the metaverses, the first time ever, I believe, if I've got it correct. We are live right now on YouTube, Odyssey, and Fascist Book, which I've changed over from Twitter, for the time being at least, but I can only put it on free platforms currently. So I might change that about. I don't know. I'm unsure. I think the one on Twitter, it seems to do a bit better. The longer it went on, it's got more viewers. So I guess maybe rather than fascist book, Twitter could be the option, along with Odyssey and, of course, the Thought Police at YouTube. How could we forget? Good old YouTube, right? Wow. You've kind of got to wonder about YouTube. I mean, what's it really all about? You've got to question everything, right? Absolutely everything. Believe nothing, not even your own mother, in the words of the late Bill Cooper. So, before I yap on even more, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning, wherever you may be in this absolutely insane world that we're in. Where do you even begin? Honestly, I shouldn't laugh, but if you don't laugh, you're probably going to cry, right? It never appears to be good news anywhere. I mean, you get the odd, I don't know, personal good news, but overall, on a, if you like, global scale through the mainstream news media, it's all bad fucking news, right? I mean, let's face it. Is there any good news out there? Of course, good news to the mainstream media is a juice, a new wonder juice that is 1 million billion% effective. Effective at what? Yeah, exactly. And I would say it is effective, if you know what I'm talking about, because it is having a serious effect at the moment. And it has been since it got, I don't know, what would be released. They mass rolled out the juice. When was it? December 2020? Was it that early? In the pandemic? I think it might have been. So how long's that been now? I think we're already seeing the effects, the real effects of the super duper juice treatment. Yeah, that juice. We all know what we're on about, right? We don't even have to say it. Incoming strike, channel deleted, terminated. For the third time. I'm trying not to move about too much. I sometimes get a bit animated here. I'm glad you can't see me, but for, I don't know, content's sake, I did listen back to a wee bit. When was it? I think the last one that I done, and I could hear myself moving about in the chair and banging the table that I'm using with my feet and through the headphones. It was, I mean, it's quite loud, and personally, I didn't like it, and it would have been enough to put me off listening to a stream. So I apologize if anybody has headphones and they wonder what that constant banging is. It's me arsing about on the chair, right? So let me quickly say hello, and then we'll get stuck into it, right? We should be live. Hopefully we can get a wee audio check, and the audio's good, right? Because yeah, it's me. We've had audio issues numerous times. Let's not even go there. So we're on fascist book as well now. I'm not expecting to get anyone, to be fair. The page that I've got, it's called Fugspiracy, and you'll see it hopefully on the screen now as a comment. So if you're on fascist book, then you'll find me there. I've tried it. I made that page in about 2016, and it's like got a library of videos that you'll want to check out. And it's before I guess I kind of became a content creator, although I was already creating content with other topics, mainly football, to be honest, because I'm a mad football fan at heart, right? Somebody's got to be. Unfortunately, it's me, but I've always been for about, I don't know, since when would it have been? maybe 2013, even before then, 2010, I think. About 2010, I started making videos, music videos, and football videos, and stuff like that, family videos, and it's grown from there, to be honest. And here we are today. But the Fugspiracy page, it's honestly, if you are on Fascist Book, I wouldn't recommend you be on it, to be fair. Sounds a bit stupid, I know, but there you go. We try and get the word out as far and as wide as we can, but I wouldn't be on it. My honest advice is don't be on it. But if you are, that's where you're going to find us, right? So hello to a dog named Boo. Good to see you in the hood. Good to have you back again. Oh, you've left us. You've left us already. Of course, again, I would much rather people spent time with their family and you done something, I don't know, useful, right? I'm totally bigging myself up here, as always, right? A dog named Boo, Steve Cray, of course, Steve in the hood, the number one moderator, the best moderator on Nazi Tube, right? Occupy till I come. I like the name. Yeah, I'm forgetting the name of the rap artist now. It's Green Lantern, but it's a remix of the Bin Laden track. I can't remember the guy's name. Somebody might have put it in actually. Did I see it? I think someone did put it in. What is his name? Is it Immortal Kombat that his name is? I'm unsure. We'll get back to that anyway, right? But hello to Occupy Till I Come. I like to make different intros, and I mean, when it comes to music, I've got quite a wide range. I spoke to Scott's Armour. He's a similar sort of person. His range is wider than mine by the sounds of it. He likes everything really, so except from the heavy shouting, "Wah, fuck, ah," in your face, heavy metal, if you want to call it that. I'm not a fan of that either, to be fair. It just kind of gives me a sore head. So hello to Steve Cray in the hood, right? Good to see you back again. Lots of comments already. Way behind. Dave A, good to see you back again. A pleasure to have you tonight for this volcanic winter. Yeah. I mean, I think we've all heard about a dark winter. A volcanic winter? Yeah. The volcano situation's quite interesting, right? Some of you might recall I've talked about volcanoes in the past quite a bit. Not really in depth, but in about 20, when would it have been? In about 2012, maybe 2013, when I was kind of, I don't know, coming to the realization that the world is a lie. I came across a guy, I can't remember where. It was on a social media site. And I remember he pointed out to me, I think I was talking about volcanoes erupting. And he said that volcanoes was worth a watching because it was basically fake. And I remember thinking, what? How can a volcano be fake, right? But the more that the guy kind of went on about it, I mean, I shouldn't laugh. To be honest, the guy could be right. I would not rule anything out in this world that we're in. But have you ever heard of magma manipulation? Anyone? No? Has there anyone who's ever heard the term volcanic geoengineering? Frank, maybe? Our brother Frank, if he's in the hood. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves now, right? But that gives you a wee bit of a taste where we're going tonight. I don't want to go any longer than about 11:30. I shouldn't have said that because, yeah, you know what's going to happen now, right? but I am kind of pushed for time tonight, so I'm going to try my best. But hey, it's me. So hello to Dave in Atlantis as well. Good to see you. Carmel, what a pleasure to have you. And of course, Rich in the hood. Good to see you. My son back again. If I miss, send some as well. There you go. Good old Sensum, right? A great man, Sensum. Sensum's one of these guys that I respect a lot. I look up to people like Sensum, and he speaks a lot of Sensum. That is for sure, right? So it's good to have Sensum in the hood, and I'm sure we'll get a catch up in good time. Who else did I see there? I did see Scott's in the hood somewhere. He's gone. There's Justine. Good old Justine. It's not the same without Justine, right? A pleasure to have you back again. Draga as well in the hood. A long-term regular as well. Good to see you back again. Space Hopper Mark. What a pleasure. Another regular in the hood. Good to see you back again. Philippic as well. Good to see you. And there is Scott's Armour, indeed. Another good live the other night with No Chance and fuck, I'm forgetting who it was. Man, I can't even remember. Honest to God, I can't even remember who the other person was. It wasn't DJ. So that threw me off track. Honest to God, I can't even remember, right? I'm not even going to try. Shocking. I listened to it for about 2 hours as well. There you go. It shows you where my brain is, right? Tonight's geoengineering stream is a added sort of geoengineering stream to the one that we're still doing, if that makes any sense. The second part to the one I done previously, that will get done on Friday, I think. So we're going to see. But tonight's, it's all connected, put it that way, right? And you'll see what I mean. Chief Moody in the hood, another Scottish content creator. Yeah, there's not many of us, right? But we try and stick together. You've got to look after one another, without a doubt. It's great to see you and Scott's Armour in the hood. Robert as well. Good to see you, brother. Back again. Who else did I see? Jack Russell. There you go. Good to see you. Anthony. Where did he go? Always a pleasure to see Anthony. That's 100 press ups for Anthony. Late to the show. We can't have it. You've got to set a marker, right? You've got to be on time, or it's press ups for you. And if you're late the second time around, it's press ups for everyone, right? You're going to get us all done. Hasdak as well. Good to see you back again. He's lurking there, which is fine, right? You can do your own thing. Peter, good to see you back again. A pleasure. Who else did it? If I missed you, hey, it's a duck. There we go. And of course, Frank, right? How could we miss Frank? And DJ, of course, DJ. He's here as well. A pleasure to have DJ in the hood. And if I did miss you, I don't know how I did, but it's me, right? What can I say? So we're going to get into it. We'll get back to the chat. It's quite funny. It's quite funny because the laptop that I'm using, it's an hour ahead. It's saying I've already been on live for an hour and 20 minutes. So, Jesus. Oh, man. I can never seem to get anything right with technology. Honest to God. I think we would be better off without technology. Can we somehow rewind time, right? Kind of funny that in the future you could imagine them wanting to rewind time to get back to a better time. What happened to things getting better? Of course, yeah. The agenda. The agenda's there, lurking in the background. Constantly, unfortunately. I caught a wee bit of the David Icke live stream. Someone sent me it. My friend Zainab. And it's, yeah, I mean, David, you get what you see from David. I don't think there's anything new that he's added. And David has certainly called a lot of stuff way before a lot of people. but a lot of people also called it way before him, and I think that's also worth mentioning. Um, it's all there for everyone to see. All you've got to do is look and basically research, and you'll find the truth yourself, or you'll expose the lies rather than find the truth. Because if you ever do find any truth in the world, then let me know, right? Because I'll be the first to tell you if I ever find any. That is for sure. Rill as well. Good to see you back again, Rill. In the hood. Great stuff. A pleasure. So let me see if I can work technology, right? Yeah, there we go. Oh, do we know what that is in the pit? Where's can I can't get the picture up, can I? It's all right, we'll get back to that. It's the picture in the background. It's a guy spraying from a wheelbarrow, and there's a gun on it. And he's spraying the community. It's all for their benefit, right? Yeah. When it comes to spraying aerosols, there's many forms of it. It's not just the aeroplane. There's many ways they can do it, and they have done it, and they've admitted it as well. I think the latest in regards to that picture was the Spanish government, and it's quite funny because once again, the fact checkers came out and said, no, 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 don't be stupid. There's nothing getting sprayed by anyone. Don't be silly. Chemtrails are a conspiracy theory. Yeah. And then at the very bottom, it told you that they did do it. Oh, man. It's comical. It's so comical. Honestly. I don't know how people fall for it. Maybe the spraying has a part to play, right? Like the inside job video that I posted the other day. So, does anyone, I think most people would have heard about how a volcanic eruption would basically be similar to the effects of geoengineering. So they've kind of intertwined volcanic eruptions with geoengineering. It's been intertwined now for a while, right? Because of the climate change. Run for the hills. No, wait, underground. No, wait, to the sea. No, fuck, actually, where we're going to go. Nobody knows, right? But I think the majority of people, if you heard the term volcanic geoengineering, you would think, well, yeah, a volcano erupting, and then the aftermath having a cooling effect on the earth, right? The global temperature. Yeah. But there seems to be a new intertwinement now as well, which I noticed through, I guess, the work, if you like, of the University of Birmingham. Yeah. Of course it would be a university. I mean, what else would it be? They're the go-to for all you need to know. Yeah. Anyone been to Birmingham University? Nope, me neither. Quite an interesting place, the university itself, even the layout. And I don't know if we're going to have time, but I think the secret society connected to Birmingham and the university, I think it's called the Lunar Circle, and we might get into that a wee bit more. And it was when I was reading about them, it was quite funny because they called themselves the Lunatics. Man, I thought that was class, right? The Lunatics, yeah. Bloody lunatics, all right. I bet they are lunatics. And that's coming from me. Unreal. But they said on their, I think on the Wikipedia, that they were called the Lunar Circle because they held their meetings at a full moon, so it was easier to see at night when they were getting home. That's the reason that they gave, so they could see when they were going home, right? Sure, that's the reason. Yeah, I bet it is. But quite an interesting layout there. And of course, the big, huge clock in the middle. Is that what we're going to call it? A clock? A tower? I mean, these buildings, they're always a dead giveaway. The Washington, the layout of the White House and around about it in Washington. I mean, I shouldn't laugh, but it's pretty clear, right? I mean, talk about a dead giveaway. But as soon as I seen this, I thought, yeah. I mean, that's certainly not a cult looking that, right? Certainly not Masonic looking there. Yeah. Let's go with that. We might get back to the layout in time to come. Yeah, there's always got to be a big clock somewhere. Right? Yeah, you've got to have a big clock. So the University of Birmingham, them guys, the go-to, they've published this article on the 17th of August 2022. So quite fresh off the press, if you like. Risk of volcano catastrophe. A roll of the dice, say experts. Risk of volcano catastrophe. A roll of the dice. Say the experts. You know you've got to listen when it's the experts, right? As soon as people say that, well, I mean, you've got to take it as true. And of course, the fact checkers will be there to back it up. But don't look at who funds them, right? So, the world is, quote, woefully underprepared, close quote, for a massive volcanic eruption and likely repercussions on global supply chains, climate and food, according to experts. Yeah. So, as if there wasn't enough going on in the world, right? We've now got this woefully underprepared announcement. And what did they say in regards to the last climate endgame live stream that we done? They said that human extinction had been dangerously underexplored. And now we are woefully underprepared for a volcanic catastrophe. I mean, what else do they want to add to the mountain of fear that they drive upon us? Honestly, it is insane. And it kind of gets worse, to be honest. So, in an article published in the journal Nature, researchers in the University of Cambridge's Centre for the Study of Existential Risk, and the University of Birmingham say there is a, quote, broad misconception, close quote, that risks of major eruptions are low and describe current lack of government investment in monitoring and responding to potential volcano disasters as, quote, reckless, close quote. Got to act now, right? The researchers say that at the moment, many suggest that even if we know a big eruption is coming, there is little we can do. Yeah, no fucking shit. However, they argue that steps can be taken to protect against volcanic devastation. From improved surveillance, increased public education, to magma manipulation, and the resources needed to do so are long overdue. Reckless. If we don't act now, if we don't respond now, it's reckless. No, I'll tell you what's fucking reckless. Is thinking that you can tamper or manipulate the magma of the earth. But hey, I guess they're already wanting to, or already are even manipulating the weather. So what are they going to stop at? Probably nothing. First the weather, then the magma. Of course, first would have been the mind, right? Because they're masters at mind manipulation. But it didn't stop there. The weather, the magma, the sea, the air that we breathe. Yeah. But of course, they're going to do the monitoring. I wonder who the monitoring agency will be. Yeah. I wonder, right? We might get more into that in a bit. So here's a quote here. We now live in a world with 8 times the population and over 40 times the level of trade. Our complex global markets could make us even more vulnerable to the shocks of a major eruption. Yeah. Our complex society that has been orchestrated for us to live in as our world. It's so complex, right? It's very complicated. Of course, when that comes crashing down, I think people are then going to see what complicated really is. Because I might be wrong here, but I think we are basically in the midst of a civilization collapse right across the board, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I hate to say it, and I really do hope that I'm wrong. But it looks like it. It looks like it's going to happen. I'm unsure as to why. But it may have happened before. Like the famous quote goes, there is nothing new under the sun whatsoever. So, I don't know. I mean, there's so much going on, and now they're adding more with the volcano situation, which has always been there in the background. The agenda has many tentacles it can use. And of course, it capitalizes on any disaster whatsoever. There is no such a thing as a disaster for the agenda. It's always opportunity. It's only disaster for us, to be honest. I shouldn't laugh, but you've got to question a lot of the natural or seemingly natural disasters that we've had, without a doubt. So, sticking with it, hopefully we're still rolling, right? I need to make it the full screen so I can see it. My eyesight is, it seems to get worse, to be honest, which is, I shouldn't laugh again, but I might need to get Gregory Peck's, right? Get 2 jam jars and hopefully that'll work. That's probably what you would get on the NHS, the bottom of 2 milk bottles. Here you go. Wear them. So sticking with it, here's another expert here. Another researcher, a doctor, of course, right? Data gathered, of course, data. It's always the data. Yeah, good old data. The ever trustworthy data. Data gathered from from ice cores. Yeah. Good old ice cores data. That's going to be a blueprint. Sure. Data gathered from ice cores on the frequency of eruptions over deep time suggests there is a 1 in 6 chance of a magnitude 7 explosion in the next 100 years. That's a roll of the dice, said article co-author and researcher Dr. Laura Mani, an expert in global risk. Dun, dun, dun. Wow, what a job that would be, right? Yeah. Now, what is the chances that this next 100 years date or timeline changes to the next, I don't know, 20 years, to maybe the next 10 years, where they come out and say, I don't know, it's less than previously thought? Yeah. Surely not, right? Watch this space. Yeah. Such gigantic eruptions have caused abrupt climate change and collapse of civilizations in the distant past. Now, how many times have you heard about the collapse of a civilization of late? I've seen them blaming climate change. I thought we done it, but seemingly it collapsed the civilization before. But I've also seen now that disease done it, a virus done it, and climate change. Of course, yeah. And I guess next will be the volcanic eruption to add to it. I'm unsure if a volcanic eruption is in the Illuminati card deck, but I'd imagine that it is. Now, what that would tell you, you let me know. But it could say a lot, to be fair. So, sticking with it, it's quite a long article, to be honest, but we'll get through it, hopefully. Marnie, the expert, compares the risk of a giant eruption to that of a 1 kilometer wide asteroid crashing into Earth. Finito. Oh man, and we've heard that one quite a lot in the past, have we? Asteroid! Yeah. Such events would have similar climatic consequences, but the likelihood of a volcanic catastrophe is hundreds of times higher than the combined chances of an asteroid or comet collision. Right. So forget about the asteroid. It's the volcano you're wanting to worry about. Is that what they're saying here? Quote, hundreds of millions of dollars are pumped into asteroid threats every year, yet there is a severe lack of global financing and coordination for volcano preparedness, close quote, said Mani. Quote, this urgently needs to change. We are completely underestimating the risk to our societies that volcanoes pose. Close quote. Wee Mani's getting a bit concerned about the volcanoes, right? I think we have seen an increase of late in not huge volcanic eruptions, but smaller, an increase in smaller eruptions. And I always tend to think about is it Yellowstone that it's called? Is that the one that they usually point to? If it goes off, we're all finished. Yeah, I think we're finished anyway, to be fair. So, we'll cross that bridge when it comes, right? I'm unsure what would be the solution in a volcanic eruption. It would probably block out the sun, right? I'd imagine it could block out the sun for quite a long time. How do you prepare for that as an individual? How do you prepare as a nation? What would be the solution to? I'd imagine the solution could be to go underground. Um, their solution seems to be to manipulate magma, which is certainly raising my eyebrow, I can assure you. Anytime the word manipulation is mentioned, it's worth looking into a bit more. Right, so we're going to carry on. Hopefully, we're still going. Let me see. I think we're still going. Let it burn, says DJ. Fuck it, let it burn. We've all had enough anyway. Yeah, I know that feeling, right? Um, we might get into that a wee bit more. But yeah, I'd imagine without us letting it burn, they probably will accomplish that themselves with their super duper geoengineering. Yay! Block out the sun. Remember, we all got together and said, look, I think it's a good idea if we block out the sun. Yeah, remember that? How we laughed. How we laughed, right? And remember, we all got together and said, right, we're going to go from 2 weeks to flatten the curve to eating cricket flour. Yeah, that's a good idea, that, right? What a world we're in now, man. Honestly, it is insane. I sometimes struggle to know where to begin. I really do. There's so much going on. It can be hard to comprehend or get your head around. But of course, it's all connected. It's all intertwined, like a spider web. I like to call it Russian dolls. I forget the name for them, Russian dolls, but it's a wee doll and a wee doll and another doll and another doll. And it gets smaller and smaller. It's that, but with psyops. It's a psyop in a psyop inside a psyop inside a psyop, and you get the idea, right? In a sea of deception, how can you find the truth in a sea of deception when every wave that hits you is another lie? It's almost impossible. By the time you get anywhere near it, you've run out of steam. All the way to the bottom. So close yet so far, right? Yeah, the sea of deception. I think, yeah, that could be a name for a channel if I ever lose this. Because you never know. We could get I am on 2 strikes until October sometime. So I've got to watch what I say. Otherwise, the thought police are going to shut me down again. Of course, it's for your safety, your protection, right? Good old YouTube, Google looking out for you as an individual. Sure. If you believe that, you'd fucking believe anything. Good to see Justine back again. And Jack Russell. Great stuff. So we're still going, we're still rolling, right? Let me grab a drink quickly. There we go. So, where did we get to there? We covered that one, right? Yeah, the Tonga eruption. An eruption in Tonga in January was the largest ever instrumentally recorded. The researchers argue that if it had gone on longer, released more ash and gas, or occurred in an area full of critical infrastructure like the UK, or such as the Mediterranean, then global shockwaves could have been devastating. Global shock waves. Devastating. Quote, the Tonga eruption was the volcanic equivalent of an asteroid just missing Earth and needs to be treated as a wake-up call, close quote, said Manny. Manny's certainly promoting the volcanic danger, right? He's the Manny to see for that info, by the looks of it. A wake-up call. So what are they trying to say? What's next, right? We had a wake-up call with the Tonga eruption, but next time around, you know, this has the feel, it has the same feel as the sun flare situation. It has that same sort of occurring theme to it. Oh, this one might not be big, but the next one, if it's a big one, that's going to be the end, basically. All these kind of doomsday scenarios that, I guess, even, I shouldn't laugh, but even just as of late, seem to be popping out like fucking whack-a-mole. And I genuinely think, what's going to be next, right? The alien invasion, possibly. I wouldn't rule it out. I would not rule that out. The CSER experts cite recent research detecting the regularity of major eruptions by analysing traces of sulfur spikes in ancient ice samples. What? Totally, yeah. I mean, makes total sense because that it's going to be a blueprint, right? Yeah, of course. An eruption 10 to 100 times larger than the Tonga blast occurs every 625 years, twice as often as had been previously thought. Shock fucking horror. Who'd have thought that, right? Yeah. I think we can see where this is probably heading. That'll change again. It's got the syndrome all over it. I mean, you can see it clear as day with the language that they use. It is so basically formatted the same way. You can't not spot it. So there is an agenda at play here. And basically, they can come out and say whatever the fuck they like. And I would imagine like the 100-year timeline, this timeline, which is already changed, will change again. And it will be even quicker than previously thought. Now, hey, I could be wrong. And I honestly hope that I am wrong, obviously. But this doesn't look too good, to be honest. It appears to have the syndrome all over it. And I would imagine that you're going to be hearing a lot more. And the talk of 100 years will become a lot less. 50, 40, 30 years. By the year 2050, maybe. By the year 2030, even. Of course, they like 2030, right? Quote, the last magnitude 7 eruption was in 1815 in Indonesia. Close quote. Anyone remember that? Said co-author Dr. Mike Cassidy, a volcano expert and visiting CSER researcher, now based at the University of Birmingham, of course. The go-to, right? 1815 in Indonesia. How many years ago was that? Where's the mathematicians, right? Don't look at me. Don't look at me to calculate that. I was going to, but I thought I would leave it to the chat while I get a drink. How many years ago was 1815? Who's going to be first to get to it? We're still going. That's great. We're still rolling. I see it. My good friend Ruth is in the hood. Where did she go? Our sister Ruth, good to see you back again. Ruth Anderson, right? A pleasure to have you. Jojo Gizmo reckons 107. It's a Duck reckons 207. Well, it can't be both, right? It can't be both. I don't think it can be both. I don't know. I don't think it's anything like 600 odd years ago. But like I said, that timeline, I can guarantee it. And I'm going out on a limb here. It will change. And they'll probably blame us. Climate change. Climate change made it fast forward to 2030. Now, possibly, yeah, going out on a limb there. But could you imagine the panic that they could create by saying, look, data is telling us that in 5 years' time or in 1 to 2 years' time, there's going to be a huge eruption. And it could be cataclysmic for complex societies, like ours. Why did we have to make it so complex? Yeah, because remember we all got together and decided it was going to be made this complex. Sure. We have been so far led astray. It is fucking unbelievable, honestly. So far, honest to God, so far away from true reality. It's kind of staggering how we got to this point. So I don't think anyone was around in 1815. Possibly Frank, right? He might have been here. Our brother Frank, he knows the score. It's always a pleasure to have Frank in the hood. Yeah, a lot of spraying today as well. And thank you for the emails as well, Frank, today. Great stuff. And to my friend in Australia, and to my friend Zainab, who I spoke to today. And my good friend in Australia as well. And we can all find it tough. I don't think there's any shame in admitting that things can get us down from time to time. And I'm no different. I'm certainly no different from anyone else. I'm just the same as I'm the same as everyone else. Even though someone thought that I was an AI bot, I'm just a human. I was a human. Mark Zuckerberg, right? I was a human once. I mean, I was a human. No, I am human. That was class, that from Zuckerberg. But we're all in the same boat, right? But we've all got to try. We've all got to keep going. And if we can help each other out with whatever it may be, right? If we can, at least. Yeah, I think Robert knows the score there, right? So we're still going. We're still rolling. Great stuff. And we've not got many mathematicians in the hood, which is good because I'm not one either. I always struggled at maths when I was at school. As soon as they started talking about pi and Pythagoras' theorem, I thought, nope, that's not for me. I just need to know how to do my shopping and not get scammed, and that's enough. I'm not going to be building any fucking skyscrapers. Forget it. Plus, we've got calculators, right? You can use a calculator. So, let's keep rolling. We'll jump back to the comments in a bit. So I wonder if they worked out the last one through the ice data that they collected. Is that how they narrowed the date down, or do they have it recorded? I'm unsure. We might get back to that. Financial losses from a large magnitude eruption would be in the multi-trillions. and on a comparable scale to the pandemic. Yeah. Funny that, right? I wonder what else sort of scale it would be similar on to the pandemic. Yeah. I wonder. A similar scale on every level, I'd imagine. Yeah. Marnie and Cassidy outline steps they say need to be taken to help forecast and manage the possibility of a planet-altering eruption and help mitigate damage from smaller, more frequent eruptions. What? Yeah. Is that what they're doing now then? I mean, honestly, I don't know at what point these entities decided that they would play God, but they certainly try to. And they manipulate the planet on such a scale, it is truly staggering. So, what are they trying to say? That if an eruption does occur on a gigantic scale, that they would then let off smaller eruptions to what, mitigate it and make it less of a force? How is that? I don't see how that's making it any less. Surely that would only make it worse. I mean, it is truly insane, honestly. Absolutely insane. These include, a more accurate pinpointing of risks. We only know locations of a handful of the 97 eruptions classed as large magnitude on the quote, volcano explosivity. Wow. Index, close quote. Over the last 60,000 years. This means there could be dozens of dangerous volcanoes dotted around the world. Dozens of dangerous volcanoes dotted the world over with the potential for extreme destruction, about which humanity has no clue whatsoever. Oh, man. Talk about, no clue, but you can say that again, right? Yeah, no clue whatsoever. So we've got all these dangerous, potentially dangerous volcanoes dotted all over the world that we don't even know about. Shock horror, right? Quote, we may not know about even relatively recent eruptions due to a lack of research into marine and lake cores, particularly in neglected regions such as Southeast Asia. Close quote. I think we'll remember that one. Quote, volcanoes can lie dormant for a long time, but still be capable of sudden and extraordinary destruction. Close quote. Yeah. Dotted all over. One could pop up right behind you. And because of the lack of research, they might not even know about a recent eruption. Never mind predicting a huge eruption beforehand. Personally, I don't think they could predict it. In my own belief, if there is a huge catastrophic eruption, it won't be by accident. It simply fucking won't be. No way. Could it be a cycle of the world that we live in? I wouldn't rule that out either. I simply can't. Um, but personally, I can't see it being by accident. Everything that we're getting now, it's not by accident. It's all orchestrated, like clockwork, lockstep, if you like. Monitoring must be improved. Say the experts. Monitoring, monitoring, monitoring. Of course, yeah, monitoring. The experts, right? Only 20% of eruptions since 1950 have had a seismometer anywhere near them, and only a third of that data, again, has been fed into the global database for, quote, volcanic unrest, close quote. Oh dear. Who are they going to call, right? Quote, volcanologists have been calling for the dedicated, for a, sorry, for a, sorry, calling for a dedicated volcano monitoring satellite for over 20 years, close quote. Satellite, satellite, satellite. Yeah, one of them, right? They want one of them drones to monitor the volcanoes. So forget about actually going to a volcano. You want to monitor it from the sky, right? And get all the data from the ever trustworthy source that'll be behind said satellite, if you want to call it that. Money said sometimes we have to rely on the generosity of private satellite companies for rapid imagery, close quote. Like, I don't know, Starlink maybe? The ever generous Starlink? The researchers also call for an increased research into volcano, quote, geoengineering, close quote. What now? Yeah, the what? This includes the need to study means of countering the aerosols released by a massive eruption, which could lead to a quote, volcanic winter, close quote. He said the name. I shouldn't laugh, but again, if you don't laugh, you might just cry here. They also say that work to investigate manipulating pockets of magma beneath active volcanoes should be undertaken. Of course, right? Added money, quote, directly affecting volcanic behavior may seem inconceivable, but so did the deflection of asteroids until the formation of the NASA Planetary Defense Coordination Office in 2016. Yeah, of course. NASA, they wouldn't be far away, right? Yeah, funny that. All rather fitting indeed. The risks of a massive eruption that devastates global society is significant. The current underinvestment in responding to the risk is simply reckless. Close quote. Yeah, simply reckless, right? We're living a reckless life. Now, I've not really looked into the magma manipulation very much. I find it, again, completely insane. I mean, who do these people think they are? What gives them the right to be tampering with the workings of the world that we live in? When did we decide that was okay? Because I can tell you now, it's not okay. much like aerosol injection, magma manipulation should be stayed well clear of. And if there is a volcanic eruption, going by what they say, they're then going to release a geoengineering program to combat the volcanic eruption. Talk about mental, right? Now, this could even coincide with an already ongoing geoengineering program. And I really do have a genuine, deep concern about the way the planet's heading in regards to the health of the planet itself. And I think, first and foremost, any plan of geoengineering needs to be stopped now. It has to be stopped. It cannot go ahead. It simply cannot go ahead. But they have solutions already in the wings, because they know that a lot of people will be against it. And they are already expecting, because of geoengineering and because of medical treatments, there will be a huge backlash on science. And in the end, we will be in a war with science. I shit you not. Look it up in the global risk document. It's all there in black and white. And that is only one of the risks that we face, thanks to entities like the Rockefellers, the World Economic Forum, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and every single fucking corrupt government on this fucking planet. And I can tell you right now, if we ever do flip the coin and somehow get ahead of the game, we're going to need a lot of fucking rope. I shit you not. Because there's a lot of people in this world, they have sold us out through their own greed. And I can tell you right now, God granted, they won't get away with it. They simply won't. They'll do what they're going to do, but I can tell you right now, none of us get away scot-free. No one. Not even these entities. They will get fully what they deserve in time to come. I'm pretty sure of that. But, like I said, in my personal view, the bottom line here is that any geoengineering program or volcanic manipulation program needs to be fucking stopped now. Nipped on the bud, pronto. And that's not just coming from me either. That comes from many, many, many top scientists. But you will not see them on the mainstream media. No chance. No chance whatsoever. The only ones you'll see on the mainstream media are the ones who support geoengineering. Yay, it's great. Celebrate. That's the ones you'll see. But there is a huge, maybe not huge actually, but there is a big number of scientists and, if you like, experts in the world currently who are saying exactly what I'm saying. It needs to be stopped. It would be insane to go through with it, no matter what. But going by what the agenda is putting out, it's going to go ahead. And it's going to be worse than just aerosol injection or carbon dioxide removal, which I believe, from what I originally knew, was the only two forms of aerosol geoengineering or solar geoengineering. But now it may appear now that we have three forms of geoengineering. Because if a volcano erupts, they're going to combat it. They're always there with a solution to fix it, right? We're so lucky. Just like the pandemic cropped out of nowhere. But then they had the solution. Fear not. We've got a super duper juice waiting in the wings. We've been working on it, right? It's here. It's ready. Roll up, roll up. And boy, did they fucking roll up by the what looks like billions right across the world. And I can tell you right now, a lot of them people, they're regretting it big time. Has anyone actually ever heard of magma manipulation? Boschevelt knows the score, right? He knows the score. Yeah, exactly. And this is one that they, at least from what they say, they're claiming that they can remove carbon dioxide through aerosol injection, but also through these big fans that they've got. Then they store it underground. And it's like, what? Honest to fucking God, man. It's insane, right? I mean, what is it all about? Magman, yeah. Do you know this? If you look at anything to do with magma manipulation, it's probably been mentioned in a superhero comic book or something like that. But here's a meme that I seen. I don't know if it's from a cartoon or what, but it says magma. Well, let me make it bigger actually. Magma manipulation. I could charge for stopping volcanic eruptions. Yeah. Good way to make money, that, right? Look out! There's a volcano behind you. Who you gonna call? Magma Man? They're gonna come and make sure it doesn't erupt, right? Look, the data says it's gonna erupt. You've got to pay for this research to be done. Otherwise, you're gonna get an eruption. Right? Pay up, pay up. You can see it. I shouldn't laugh, but you can kind of see where it's going. And like I said at the very beginning, I would seriously be careful with the magma situation. It was one of the first things that basically got pointed out to me as being manipulated. And I mean, let's face it, what in this world is not manipulated? Answers on a postcard, right? Nothing, nothing, nothing. Just one word, nothing. It's all orchestrated, manipulated, complete theatre right before our eyes. What time are we on? That's the wrong time. Let me check. We're not too bad. We've got a wee bit of time, so we're all right. But that's basically the article. That's the article that I wanted to cover. And like I said, the geoengineering agenda is huge. I shit you not, fucking gigantic. And by the looks of it, it will go ahead. So we've got to try and find a way to put a spanner in the work, right? If we can. If we can stop geoengineering, that might make a big difference in their plan, because it could be a key component to complete fucking totalitarianism, complete destruction of the world as we once knew it. But I guess that's life, but not as we know it, right? He said the name! So, Magma Man, right? Look out for him. I've got a few bits here. Do you know this? For some reason, the other day, the term third world popped into my head. It was weird. I was thinking about I was watching a live stream and I was thinking about the word, someone had mentioned it in a live stream. I can't remember what it was. But they had mentioned the word alternative, right? And said, well, alternative. Right? Get it? Alternative. So, like the alternative medicine was the alternative. It wasn't the native medicine or the real medicine. But for some reason, I kept thinking about the third world and what would the term the third world, what does it really mean? If that's the third world, where's the first and the second, right? Is the third world going to be the last world? Should that be where we all head now? Quick, time to head to the third world, right? Because we're in total civilization collapse at the moment. But these terms and phrases, I always find them very interesting. I think a lot of the time I can overthink it as well. But the one alternative, it really does stand out. And I think we're going to get into that a wee bit more in the future, right? So a bit of a complicated one. But yeah, the third world. The third world, right? That could be where we might have to head to. My good friend is in the hood from down under. A pleasure to have you back again. My good friend from Australia. I love the Aussies. I really do. I've got family there as well, and they're great. A lot of the Aussies have been woken up big time. Of course, when the pandemic got rolled out, it showed the agenda's hand. Every time they play their cards, they show their hand. And they played their cards with the pandemic, and many, many, many people have seen it now. A lot of people are coming too. And I don't think they're going to be happy, to be honest. So where do we fancy going in the third world? Where's it going to be? Scotland's surely classed as third world, right? It's got to be the fucking state of it. Thanks to the SNP. It's got to be third world now. So Scotland might be all right. I'm unsure. I mean, how many threats have we got now in the world? We've got the pandemics, we've got the world war, we've got the volcanoes, we've got the climate crisis, we've got climate anxiety. I mean, what is next, right? Probably the alien invasion. Look out for it. I was having a look at Starlink. Starlink's one we've touched on quite a few times in the past. I can tell you right now, in my view, Starlink is not good. It is not good. I've actually covered it. I think since the beginning of my content creation on YouTube, at least, we've been having a look at Starlink, right? If you go onto their website, you'll see that it's ideal for rural and remote communities. Yay! Because they want internet, right? I doubt they bloody do, to be honest. If they've got any sense, they won't. But of course, complex world, right? This infrastructure, this web that our lives are intertwined in, it's very complex. It needs internet. We're basically already we're part Android already, pretty much, in the world that we're living in. We're basically already hooked up to the grid. Probably more than I could ever know. So it's great for rural communities like in Scotland. Yay! Like in Afghanistan for Bin Laden in his cave, right? He's going to get good internet now. Starlink is ideally suited for areas where connectivity has been unreliable or completely unavailable. What about satellites? How could it? I thought they used satellites. Yeah, but there's parts of the world that can't get internet. Interesting one, that, right? People across the globe are using Starlink to gain access to education, health services, and even communication support during natural disasters. Yeah, of course, right? Yeah. Who's going to be here to save the day when there's a huge natural disaster? Fear not, Starlink is here. Like a steam train in the night. Yeah, here to save the day, right? I mean, it was all about getting internet to rural communities. Now they're talking about support during a natural disaster. You'll notice on the wee box there, your Starlink kit arrives with everything you need to get online, including your Starlink Wi-Fi router, cables, and base. Yay! Starlink requires a clear view of the sky to connect. Well, that's no one in Scotland's going to get it then. I mean, fucking hell. You'd be lucky to find a clear day in the summer in Scotland, where I am. It's very rare. You'd be looking for a break in the cloud to try and get online. That's not to also mention the current geoengineering that we're under. You need a clear view of the sky. I mean, oh me, I can't see how this is going to work. It's again, it's not needed in my opinion. What is wrong with the internet that we already have? Is it not good enough? It's clearly not, right? The masses want to download films onto their brain in a second. I want to have already watched a film before I even know it's out. What a world we're heading into. And that's not to mention the brain chip, the Neuralink lace. Fuck, is that going to be hooked up to Starlink as well? But you need a clear day. So you'll malfunction most of the time in Scotland. Anytime it's cloudy, nothing's going to work, right? So that'll be every day. Starlink is on the leading edge of on-orbit debris mitigation. The what now? On-orbit debris mitigation, meeting or exceeding all regulatory and industry standards. Yeah. At end of life, the satellites will utilize their onboard propulsion system to deorbit over the course of a few months. Right. So, edge of orbit. Right. In the unlikely event of the propulsion system, in the unlikely event the propulsion system becomes inoperable, the satellites will burn up in Earth's atmosphere within 1 to 5 years, significantly less than the hundreds of thousands of years at higher altitudes. Yeah, because they could never get it to them altitudes. Never, ever. Nothing. Not a thing. Even this space station is in low Earth orbit. Nowhere even near space, or what they claim is space at least. Nowhere near it. And before Starlink even got released, I predicted that it would never leave low Earth orbit, and I stand fucking by that today. It won't. And I can tell you right now, if anything, it will get closer. To such an extent that you will not even see the night sky as you can see it right now. It will be gone. Hence why I made a video about 3 years ago called Kiss the Night Sky Goodbye. And these folk have the fucking cheek to come out and say, preserving the night sky. Yeah, of course, they're going to preserve the night sky. But in the inverted world that we're in, they won't be preserving it. They're going to be fucking destroying it. I kid you not. They want, if you include Starlink and OneWeb, you're talking upwards of 100,000 satellites or drone satellites in the sky, beaming, all connected like a grid. It's going about in a line at the moment. This is just the very start of it. I would imagine that by the year 2030, you can indeed kiss the night sky goodbye. It will be gone. And the only people who realise that at the moment are a small group of amateur astronomers. They're the only ones who are raising concern about it. But you won't see them on the media. No way. You won't see them on the mainstream. No, you'll see Starlink being promoted. And oh, look at the train in the sky. Wow. Starlink, yay. Fucking shoot it down. That would be my opinion, right? I'd imagine there will be people who do try to take it down, even maybe nations, because they say that it's bringing people internet, but what else can it do? That's probably only one of the things that it can do. I would not rule anything out with these drone fucking Starlink satellites. And since, again, for about 3 years, I've been warning people this is not a good idea. Much like the geoengineering, I think Starlink needs to be stopped. Did anyone see this? It's the syndrome in all her glory, a typical example of the world that we're in and the unpreviously fought syndrome. So this came out the other day. Not harmless toys. What? Paintball guns are more dangerous than previously thought. Wow. And that came from the University of Chicago Medical Center. All hail the University of... Where would we be without them, right? Who'd have thought it? A paintball gun being dangerous? Yeah. I think anyone who's actually been paintballing knows how bloody dangerous they can be. And they are dangerous. Especially when you've got idiots like me who might shoot people up close. And then you know that they are dangerous, I can assure you. And I think there's been quite severe injuries in the past right? But it's the syndrome. I mean, of course they're dangerous. You don't need a fucking university to tell you that. But here we are. All hail the University of Shit. I mean, honestly, how much did they have to pay for that study? Honestly, they probably spent hundreds of thousands on it. We can't confirm it's dangerous. Yeah, no shit. We could have confirmed that in 2 seconds for about 10 quid. Stand there. Give me the paintball gun. Tell me if this is sore. Poof. Bill Gates would be the best volunteer for that, right? And I wanted as well to say just a thank you to everyone that watches and engages and has been there over time. It's been, I think, in October, that's 3 years that I've been on YouTube creating content. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. I'd be lying if I said any different. It's had its ups and its downs. I've certainly grown a thirst for content creation. I'm unsure if it's gonna always be on YouTube because I've not got any control over that. But it will always be somewhere. God granted again. As long as I'm physically and mentally capable, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep doing what I enjoy doing. And I certainly do enjoy the engagement that we have. So I would like to thank everyone who takes their time to watch and support, I guess, the channel and the website as well, which seems to be doing quite well, to be honest. So, I mean, that could be potentially the only show in town for That's Life, but not as we know it. I don't want to get deleted here. If we do, we have the third backup. Like I said, if that goes and if we lose this, we're on Odyssey and I'm on the website for the time being. That's where you'll find me, right? Now, tomorrow never comes, right? So they say. Did anyone's parents used to say that to them? When you would say, yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, but tomorrow never comes. Look, well, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to be starting it's a new term at college with my horticultural SVQ level 3. And it's a year's term. So I'm going to be a bit tied up with different things, but that could in itself bring new content to the channel. I have a big interest at the moment in sort of wildflowers and ecosystems in regards to plants and vegetables. And I think that it could certainly put us in good stead for the future that we're heading into. I mean, there is a sort of end goal to it where I want to kind of have my sort of be self-employed and be working on one of my interests, which would be wildflowers. And I certainly know my market in that respect. I mean, it's a kind of long-term goal. So I don't expect it to happen overnight. I actually plan on going to college for 2 years if possible, but I might start it after 1. So I'm a bit excited, a wee bit nervous as well. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. Starting tomorrow. So I will surely let you know about how I get on, right? And I'll keep you updated. And I might have a few different videos from the normal geoengineering and Rockefeller situation. So there's that. I mean, there's good things that can happen in life, but you've got to focus on the important stuff as well, right? And my son, I mean, I wasn't going to mention, but my son Billy, there's been a bit of concern in the past. When my son Billy was a baby, he got diagnosed with a tumour, a cancerous tumour, and he had to get his kidney removed. And he's sort of been getting checkups, I don't know, ever since, basically. But there's been a wee bit of a change in certain blood levels as well. So the appointments, he's going to have to go in I think every 3 months now, because there's a bit of concern there. And I mean, hopefully it's going to be nothing, right? But that's the sort of things in life. That's where my real priorities lie. With my son, Billy, my family. They're my main care. And I mean, I have to be there for them as much as I can. And it is a bit scary. We've been through it before, but it's still scary. And I mean, nothing's concrete yet in any respect, but the fact that they're a wee bit concerned makes me a wee bit concerned, right? To a certain extent, at least. So I'll let you know if there's any sort of change in that situation, because that could potentially bring me away from quite a lot, because that'll be my priority. And it might even mean me having to come out of college and pretty much dropping everything that I'm doing, which was basically what happened before. But you've got to do what you've got to do. But of course, before, it was a different world. We're in a completely different world now in terms of the hospital, the NHS. So there's quite a lot there to dissect for me and my wife. And I mean, there's good things in life, but there's always stuff that's going to keep you on your toes, right? I mean, we've all got stuff going on, and we've all got to stay strong. You've got to. I mean, you've got to lead by example. You've got to stay strong. You've got to dig deep. You've got to keep going. And I'll hopefully let you know. I'm sure it's going to be all right. But I just wanted to mention anyway, because I have talked about my son Billy in the past, and the situation with the cancerous tumor that he had. It was a real roller coaster time in my life, where I don't know, I really didn't know where it was going. But he pulled through it, and he's my absolute hero today. And I appreciate all the comments. I'm very grateful. I find it quite hard to talk about, believe it or not. It can be quite tough. It can be. It can be quite tough. But like I said, we've got to stay strong. We've got to keep going. I've got to be my son's hero. He's my hero. He doesn't even know it, but he is. He's been through so much. And he's a true warrior. He really is. So I'll try and keep you updated. I mean, he's fine. He's living the best life that he can. He's not had any issues, but hey, I mean, I'm not the expert when it comes to these situations, so we'll see how it goes, and I'll keep you updated. But like I said, I am excited and a wee bit nervous for tomorrow for starting college. Some people might think that I'm not nervous, but I can, believe it or not, get a wee bit nervous. I don't know. I think it's when you're unsure of what to expect. When I'm not in that situation, I kind of get a wee bit nervous. But once I get there and get settled, I'm sure I'll fall into the place of being the class clown, the class idiot, right? Come strolling in about half an hour late. Never a great impression, that. Of course, me being me, I'll probably get there a wee bit earlier. That's what I like to do. I know where it's based, and it's in a beautiful area. It's got a great huge wild garden. It's actually called the Biblical Gardens in Elgin, and it's got loads of structures and sort of statues. I think Hercules, or is it Moses? I can't remember. But it's pretty cool. It really is. It's a beautiful area, and it's sort of dedicated to plants and wildflowers. You might be able to see it on Google. It's called the Biblical Gardens in Elgin, and a lot of the course will be down at the polytunnels there. And I'm excited to learn about, especially seeds and how they work, because I feel that I don't know enough about seeds and ecosystems where you've got certain plants or flowers that are going to help each other out, and even vegetables as well that help each other out. I find that fascinating. I really do. So I'm looking forward to getting into a lot of that, right? So I'm going to keep you updated with how things progress with my Coolidge course. Hopefully I'll pass in the end, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? So a big thank you to everyone. Like I said, the next live that I do, it'll be more bad news, I'm afraid, because we're going back to geoengineering. I don't know if there's going to be a gardening channel, but you never know, right? There could certainly be different videos from the normal, but only if I feel it's of benefit, rather than just me digging a hole and throwing a tatty in it. But there is some good information, good tips out there that you can pick up that I reckon are certainly going to be handy in the future, to be honest. So I'm going to take in as much as I can, and like I said, I have got sort of plans for it, but you never know in life where it's going to take you. You just never know. So you keep going and live in the now, right? We'll live for today, and we'll never, ever live in fear. So let me quickly say cheerio. Good to see Space Hopper Mark. RMF in the hood. Good to see you back again. Just Kate as well. Where did she go? Oh, Justine. Good to see you. And Just Kate. Got Justine and Just Kate. I'm sure I said that the last time, right? Good to have you both. And Just DJ as well. And Just Steve, we've got in the hood. Just Boshevit as well in the hood. Good to see you back again. Great info. I would like to get Boshevit on for a chat sometime. If you're still keen for that, that would be great, right? The guy's got a lot of information to share, certainly. Who else? Frank. What a pleasure to see Frank, the information tank that he is. Top man, Frank O'Brien. Good to see you. Who else have we got? Rich as well. In the hood, always a pleasure to have Rich back again. It's a duck. Always a pleasure. It's a Robert. Good to see you back again. Who else have we got? Did I miss anyone? Probably not. Carmel. Or is it just Carmel? It's a Carmel. We'll go with that. Oh, man. I'm here all week, right? Dave A as well. Good to see you. Thanks for all the nice comments there. Do you know this? I mean, my life's pretty much an open book, to be honest. And it's just the person that I am. And my son he's going to be on the back of my mind quite a lot at the moment, because until we get it's okay, it looks all right, it's a kind of niggling concern without being overly concerned or showing concern. But I'll keep you all updated as well. Jojo Gizmo, good to see you back again. Just Jojo. Has anyone ever seen Looking After Jojo? It's a Scottish. I think it's maybe a movie, but I think it was done in 3 parts or 4 parts. It was set in Edinburgh, and it had Robert Carlyle in it. It was mainly about heroin, and he became a heroin dealer, typical of Scotland, right? But it's called Looking After Jojo. I think Kevin McKidd as well might have been in it. Do we know the actor Kevin McKidd? He's actually from Elgin, where I stay. His family still stay here. I know his brother from through the football, but it's I think it's a 3-part series called Looking After Jojo, and it was done by the BBC, if I remember correctly. It's got Robert Carlyle. I think it might have been one of the first things that he done. I remember watching it years ago, but anytime I mention it, no one's ever heard of it. I kind of think, fuck, did I watch that? I'm sure it's a thing, right? Mandela effect. Yeah. Too much of that. What was the chemical in the Inside Job video again? Nostalgia marks. Do you know this actually on that, right? I went on to the geometry calculator and I thought the main geometry calculator that gets used, and I thought, right, I'm gonna put in nostalgia marks, which is the name of the chemical in Inside Job that they sprayed on the town Still Valley, and it was a mind erasing chemical. So they lost their memory and got stuck in the 80s. But anyway, I put in nostalgia marks to geometry calculator, and nothing came up. It was like it had never been searched. So I can officially tell you right now that I was the first person to add the phrase nostalgia marks to the main geometry calculator. It had never been added, the term nostalgia marks. So I don't know if that's a claim to fame. Probably not, but it's about the only claim to fame that I've got, right? I thought, Jesus, I'm the first person to look at it. In fact, will I leave it just now? What time are we on? We'll leave it just now. Next time on the... Where's my pen? On the Friday. I'm hoping maybe Friday, but I'm unsure, to be honest. So I'll let you know as soon as I know. And I'll try and put it up in the Telegram, the website, and all the rest of it, right? But on Friday, I'll mention it. Let me write it down. And if you want to, you can look at it yourself and see what you get from the geometry. The geometry always, I find it staggering. I really do. And you'll see what I mean next time we have a look. But that was the first phrase. It was that's the first time I've ever had that. So it must have been the first time it had ever been put into the geometry calculator, because I had to actually add it, and then it came up with all the numbers and the other phrases or words that equated to the same number, and it's quite staggering. I mean, I still don't really quite comprehend it, but I certainly find it interesting. Put it that way. So, a long-winded sort of thank you, but we do have a great community here. We really do. I'm very grateful to everyone. People who have been here from the start, and new people as well who have joined and been like they've always been here. I'm very appreciative of your time and the effort that you put in. So like I said, you can catch me on Odyssey, the website, that's life but not as we know it.com. Where's my banner went? The banner's gone. Oh no. After all that time I made making the banner, bloody went away. It's back again. Of course, you can't forget that's life, but not as we know it.com, right? What was it again? I should maybe shorten it to the talbanoki.com. That might be better. I think someone called me the long named channel before, which is quite funny. I guess I have been called a lot worse, to be honest. But let's not go there, right? I think I've been called in the past 3 years that I've been on. I think I've been called every name under the sun, honestly. Some of the abuse I got because of the guy, Sci-Fi Dan or whatever the bloody hell his name was. Wow, that was an astonishing amount of abuse. Honestly. I mean, these people. I mean, if your subscribers are a reflection of you, then the guy Dan, fucking hell, he's a truly bad person. Because the people that he sent over to my channel, wow, they were horrendous, honest to God. But hey, I've got the skin for it anyway, right? I knew at some point I would have got targeted. And to be honest, I was quite shocked that it was the channel Sci-Fi Dan because it had like 500,000 subscribers. I don't think he's 500,000 yet, but he's almost at 500,000. And the fact that he picked out my 5G video on a teeny wee channel from a dude who lives in the northeast of Scotland, I found quite staggering, to be honest. Out of all the channels he could have picked, out of all the 5G videos that he could have picked, they picked mine to target. And the guy said, yes, Skyman Dan or whatever his name is, I'm unsure. Shellman Dan is what I call him. But he's always trying to debunk flat Earth, which is quite comical. I mean, here we are in nearly 2023, and you've got guys like Sci-Fi Dan trying to debunk flat Earth still to this day after everything that NASA have done. And again, that needs to be questioned. It really does. Why are they still trying to debunk it? Why are they still basically promoting it? But if you look at his channel, he basically tries to discredit anyone and fucking everyone. But the fact that he picked out my video, I thought was quite staggering. I mean, that was comical, that, right? I mean, I'm not an expert on 5G. I've never claimed to be an expert on 5G. But I can tell you right now, it will not be safe. And if Sci-Fi Dan wants to tell you that, hey, it's non-ionizing radiation, it's totally safe, I'm sorry, but it fucking ain't safe. Far from it. And anyone who has half a fucking brain cell left will be able to see that any form of radiation is not safe, no matter if they put ionizing in front of it. They can ram it. Now, the guy Sci-Fi Dan actually said that he would have been back to me, and I had said he wouldn't, and he hasn't been back. But maybe he will be back, right? We await the day. We never live in fear. Certainly not. And when he did make that video, I think I got about 100 subscribers. So, I don't know. Again, you've got to wonder, right, what it's all about. My subscriber count went up. And the video in question got like 100 thumbs down. It was quite fun. I think it was my most thumbed down video. I've still got it up. It's a 5G video. Quite comical. Honestly, what a world that we live in. If you don't laugh, you'll cry, right? Keep your head up. Keep going. Honestly. if you can, have a laugh, get out there, have a bit of a laugh with whoever it may be. Do something that you enjoy, take a step back, right? Forget about the fucking future, forget about the past, live in the now, try your best to be content, right? Because this world, wow, it is crazy to say the least, right? So stay strong wherever you are, in whatever it is you're doing, whatever it may be. Keep the faith, stay strong, dig deep if you need that strength, because you will have it. I can assure you, you will have it. If I'm still here and you're still here, you're certainly made of strong stuff. I can assure you of that, because there's many people who ain't. And like us, they see it for what it is, right? So we stay strong. I cannot emphasize that enough. Keep going. And hey, we'll get there in the end, right? So, I guess until... Actually, it won't be Friday. I've just remembered there. I'll be doing the movie review on Friday. Fucking, I was going to clash with myself. Oh, man. Imagine, right? I thought he was live. He's over live on John's channel. I'm good, but I'm not that good. I think it's this Friday, the movie review. So I'm going to be there. So let me think. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll be Thursday. Maybe I'll manage to get it out the way then. Either way, I'll be on John Davidson's channel on Friday for the movie review. And either before that or after that, I'll be back again with more geoengineering. And this time a wee bit more focused on NASA. Yay, NASA. 3 cheers for NASA. Let's hear it for NASA. Said no one ever, right? Yeah. Yeah. Good old NASA. So, I guess without further ado, until the next time, that is about it. Bye-bye.
Loving you isn't the right thing to do. How can I ever change things that I feel? If I could, baby, I'd give you my world. How can I, when you won't take it from me? You can go your own way, go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. You can go your own way, go your own way. And tell me why everything turned around. Packing up, shacking up, so you wanna do. If I could, baby, I'd give you my world. Open up, everything's waiting for you. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can call it another lonely day, another lonely day. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. You can go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. You can go your own way. You can call it another lonely day.
Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be, as a friend, as a friend, as I know enemy. Take your time, hurry up, choice is yours, don't be late. Take a rest, as a friend, as I know memory, 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 memory. Come, dust and mud, soaked in bleach, as I want you to be, as a trend, as a friend, as I know memory, 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 memory. When I swear that I don't have a gun, no, I don't have a gun. No, I don't have a gun. Yeah, memory, memory, memory.
Okay, cut.
When I swear that I don't
Wow,
have a
Neil
gun.
Armstrong. Hey, wait a minute.
No,
You're supposed to be on the moon. I just saw it on TV.
Oh, there's a tape delay and solar winds.
No, I don't have a gun. No, I don't have a gun.